Hopes are high at Miller Park on opening day.
A lot of World Series hungry fans.
To gauge fan expectations, I brought this calendar and asked fans to poke on the day of the start of the playoff series they thought the team was going to.
World Series.
Be careful if you weren't one of the ones picking a deep run.
First wild card.
Get out of here! Get out of here!
Then there's fan of 20-some-odd years, Vern.
Everybody has a prediction.
Vern helped me out wrangling fans and asking for their predictions.
Excuse me. Would you be interested in taking one of these pens and putting it on this calendar here on the other side and then put it on the last date that you think the Brewers will be playing?
Oh, yes, I will do that.
So as fan picks sometimes arbitrary days,
We're going to the 31st.
Vern could question it.
31st.
Halloween.
Halloween.
Choosing the Brewers to win the World Series was pretty common.
Well, it's going to be a pretty common pick because it's going to happen.
How confident are you?
On a scale of 1 to 10, 32.
Confidence filled the board.
I don't know who you think I am, but we're going right there.
Right here being, you guessed it, the World Series.
So what do you think? Has this been surprising you?
Not really.
Not really?
You know, Milwaukee, I mean, come on. I mean, everybody's hungry. Excuse me.
Just did it.
Oh, must have changed hats.
That guy picked the Brewers to win it all too. So did Vern for that matter.
Just by what they did last year and their acquisitions this year, I think they can do it.
And as Vern and I both found out, people agreed with him.
Oh, yeah, I'm going World Series.
You're pretty confident?
I'm very confident.
Not quite everyone though.
In the World Series, they think. I don't.
But our little non-scientific experiment showed 34 of 48 fans think the Brewers will win it all.
Take your time here. It's going to be a test after this.
Strategy.
All right.
At Miller Park, Jeff Dahdah,
Definitely World Series.
Okay.
Spectrum News.
Makes you think so.
Mounds of sand shoveled into bag after bag. Homeowners got help from community volunteers filling sandbags in Holland today.
Just trying to see what we can do at this point.
Trisha Lutz and her husband are some of the homeowners trying to prevent rising water from getting into their homes.
It's threatening to come in the sliding doors at this point. So trying to hopefully put up a barrier of some sort and keep it out of the doors.
In nearly 15 years, they've never had to do this.
We're not in a floodplain. So to be doing this up on, where we are, it's crazy. You don't think about having to do it.
And they're not the only ones filling sandbags today. Messages coming in as beeps to the National Weather Service in La Crosse may be warnings for high water levels. Meteorologists like Dan Baumgart have been monitoring floods over the past few days.
We're running off a lot of water because we're melting the snowpack, and the snow has somewhere between 2 and 4 inches of liquid in it.
Baumgart says if you drew a line from La Crosse to Sheboygan, you'd see the divide on where flooding is the worst.
Most of the flooding is occurring south of that line, and it really drops off in the northern part of the state.
The good news for the southern part of the state is a cold front coming in tonight could slow this flooding, and maybe even better news for next week.
Next week, we look like we're in an ideal thaw situation where temperatures are going to get to about 40 degrees in the daytime and cool down to the 20s at night.
So normally where I'm standing is a field, but today because of snow runoff and rain, it looks more like a pond. And homeowners that live in this area tell me they've never seen this water get that close to their house.
It's never gotten this high. Yeah, no, this is the first. It's gotten high, but nothing like this.
So sandbags it is, for the Lutzes to keep water out. Something the La Crosse County Emergency Manager says dozens of people haven't been able to do this week. And for parts of the state that haven't seen runoff floods yet this year,
Try to get ahead of it, I guess, if you can.
and hope the next thaw comes slower. In Holland, Jeff Dahdah, Spectrum News 1.
As it goes layer by layer, it just kind of keeps adding.
High school junior Adele Griffin has become something of an expert on Baraboo High School's new 3D printers. The school got them this past fall,
It's been really easy to pick up.
and the skilled printer picked up a project.
And at first I was really excited that I got to use it, but then I realized that I can use them to help other students.
The Department of Public Instruction's program for the deaf and the blind asked for Adele and her teachers' help with these.
So each one's different, different shapes, different colors.
They may look like pieces to a board game, but they're not. They're tools to help students who are deaf and blind communicate in school. There are textured sides.
A big, big image. So for this one, it's an X for not, otherwise an arrow for go.
There's also the word both in letters and in Braille.
Then they can use the X and the Braille to kind of reaffirm what that word is. And it's cool to think that like someone in Appleton is holding something that I actually worked on and like put my effort into.
They've sent about 60 of these out and around the state so far, and they're making more to help students communicate things as simple as needing to use the restroom.
When they need to go, they can hand a little piece that says go, and they need to go to the bathroom, and just some of the basic things we take for granted. I think for me as a parent, it's like, man, that's impactful.
Adele's teacher, Eric Hanusa, says using the skills they get in class for something like this is a good learning experience.
It gives those bonds and those relationships for our students to be able to grow and to function and see what they're doing can make a difference.
It was a quick snap. Like, it was very easy to take what I've learned and use it towards helping people.
Easy. Sure. The pieces are an idea from researchers at the University of North Carolina, and this Baraboo Jr. printed them in class for students across the state, and it was easy.
Still cool.
And cool.
It's very nice for them to work with their aides and other students even to just kind of get to know the English language at a very small scale.
In Baraboo, Jeff Dahdah, Spectrum News 1.